Is this really the kind of person you want? This is the question to ask yourself when you're trying to get over someone. You see, quite often we get caught up with the person because they validated us, they showered us with attention, they made us feel loved and wanted. But beyond that, we can also get caught up with someone because we created an idealized version of them in our mind, and we like to believe that they are that idealized version. But that's a fabrication our mind created, and quite often people are not at all the way that they appear in our head with that ideal version we created. So, right then and there, you need to ask yourself, after things didn't work out with someone and you're grieving over the loss, ask yourself, are they really the kind of person you want? Are they really the kind of person you want to attract in your life for relationships, for dating, that sort of thing? Because if you are getting caught up in that idealized version of them in your head, or you just liked them because they were validating you and making you feel wanted when nobody else was, you need to actually realize that, hey, maybe this person wasn't good for you. Maybe they weren't the kind of person that you want to have in your life long term. But if you never stop and ask yourself that question, you'll never have those thoughts. They just won't appear. So that's the importance of asking yourself this question. Analyze everything that happened in the relationship with this person, and analyze the way they acted when the relationship ended or even after it ended. Are they truly the kind of person that you want in your life? Are they truly the kind of person you want to have a long-term relationship with? The reason I bring this question up is because quite often, many of us will realize that the answer is no. They are not the kind of person we want to have a long-term relationship with. But like I said, you have to ponder this question to even come to that realization. But the power of this question lies in how it makes it easier to get over someone. Because if you ask yourself that question and the answer is no, it's going to be a lot easier to let someone go, to come to peace with it, come to terms with it, to accept it. I'm not saying that will make it easy per se, although it may for some people. It'll just make it slightly easier than if you never ponder the question at all. Now, in the cases where the answer is yes and they are the kind of person that you want, then yeah, this question isn't going to help, and if anything, it's just going to make the grieving process slightly longer. But it's still good to realize that in some cases you lucked out and you found someone who was the kind of person you wanted. And in those cases, I would say you should analyze why things ended. What happened? Could you have done anything differently to prevent that outcome? Meaning, was it actually, in a way, your fault? And I'm not saying this to put the blame on you. I'm more saying if it was your fault in some way, that's a good thing, because that means you can work on that in the future for other people. Now, I don't want to get your hopes up and say that you could attract this person back, because I don't know. I don't know you, and I don't know them well enough to say whether or not that'd be possible. But the important thing there is it lets you know what you need to work on for future relationships. That is a powerful thing. Don't grieve yourself for making a mistake. Don't have regrets over it. You just didn't know. But now you realize you can work on that thing, and that's powerful. There are so many people who don't even have these realizations, and therefore they're just walking around a broken mess, unable to fix themselves because they don't have the self-awareness to realize what they're doing wrong. They usually blame the outside world and other people for their problems instead of themselves, and that's exactly the issue they have in their lives. But anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. So this question is a very powerful thing. I encourage all of you to ask it after things don't work out with someone, after a breakup. Is this person truly someone you want to have in your life? Be honest. Don't just look at the surface level details like, oh, they were attractive and I had a fun time with them. No, that's not enough. Look deeper. Were they giving you the kind of love you wanted? Were they making you feel wanted? Were they loving you in the ways that you want to be loved? Meaning, there's a great book out there called The 5 Love Languages. I forget who wrote it, but it's an awesome book that kind of talks about the ways that all of us like to be loved. For instance, in my case, I like words of affirmation. I like when women praise me. If they don't praise me in that way, or if they don't tell me that I'm doing things well, then I don't know that I am doing things well. So I like getting verbal feedback pretty much. Some people prefer receiving gifts or acts of service or just quality time, having somebody, their significant other, spend time with them. That's pretty much my second love language. But it's important that you actually find people who love you in the ways that you want to be loved, or at least that they understand your love language so they can provide that thing for you, even if it's not their love language. So always ask yourself that question. Is this person truly who you want? Are they truly the kind of person you want to have long-term relationships with? Because if the answer is no, I guarantee it will make things slightly easier to get over them. Anyway, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!